Cool. We're gonna watch J Mules, a couple of J Mules videos. I'm not exactly happy with J Mules. I'm like with J Mules, I'm in this situation like I am with fucking Cole or Despairs. Somehow they're just Okay, Cole and Despairs is a different fucking situation. They both have been playing the game for so long, but they keep pretending to be fucking stupid. And like they keep talking like they're still newbies. J Mules is a new player, and he keeps like throwing throwing big words, trying to word pad an opinion that is just so fucking. How would I even like explain this? It's so like diminishing towards the game with how little he understands the game at this point. Like Jamie's actually made me angry in the last video, but like I still like his Boston accent. Boston. So let's give good old Jamie's another fucking try. Let's give him one more college try and see maybe he's gonna tell me something cool, something I'm that's worth discussing and listening to.
7.2 is finally bringing the content a lot of us have been waiting for, but there's an elephant in the room. Hello everybody, I am J-Malls of J-Malls Gaming, and 7.2 for Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail.
Okay, real talk. He like the spelling of his name is Jmull's. Is that actually J-Malls? Hold on, is that actually... Hold on. J-Mules. Okay, hold on. Inglado, please.
JMULLS.
Yeah, even Google says.
JMULLS.
I get... Okay, fucking whatever. We're already sidetracked.
Isn't until the end of March, or late March, which is a cool month and a half to just under 2-month window of time that we still have to wait for a lot of this content to come out for Final Fantasy XIV. You may be going, J-Malls, well, what's the problem? What's the issue? And
it's gonna be like 21st, isn't it? If I remember my math right, it's gonna be end of March, so it's gonna be around 21st on patch day. 2 weeks later, I think I counted like 7th would be the Savage drop. Obviously, this is all theoretical. We don't exactly know when part 2 of the live letter is going to happen. And before the main big patch, we will always have 4 weeks of the Moogle Tombstone event. None of that shit is happening yet, so we might be still far off.
And that is the case of the monthly sub, a monetization method that fans of MMORPGs are quite familiar with. Many other MMOs have a monthly sub to continue playing the game. Games like RuneScape, World of Warcraft, and Final Fantasy XIV, and many others. It's not a unique phenomenon to Final Fantasy XIV or anything like that. However, it's an interesting conversation that crops up every time one of these sub-based MMOs has what is perceived to be a content drought.
Content drought. He's really got a... Okay. RuneScape has a sub. Yeah, there is like a free kind of version to it, but you're going to be limited to a lot of functions. You won't be able to go to a lot of maps. At least like as far as I remember. To be fair, I played RuneScape in like 2000, maybe 8. A while back. I know there's like new RuneScape 2, they're RuneScapening, or whatever it's called. But yeah, RuneScape has a sub. And recently they also had this like egregious fucking monthly payment plan. Like, hey, maybe if you pay premium monthly sub, we'll actually give you some security features. It was so fucking funny. The fucking audacity they had. Like, we're gonna offer you basic fucking security features for your account for the premium monthly pay. RuneScape are fucking bent. Whoever greenlit that decision and actually made the marketing material for it. Holy shit.
A period of time with, well, no content. And it's a bit weird because many people perceive the beginning of Dawn Trail right now to be a
Also, before he even starts yapping, I want to clarify. The monthly payment, it's not just based specifically on the game itself, right? Yeah, obviously, like... Okay, there's a specific system between, like, the government and big companies that take a lot of universal money from a lot of countries, especially... So there's, like... How would I even fucking begin explaining this? Like, there's a reason in China they don't have a monthly sub for 14. They don't. You pay for like half an hour, you're gonna play half an hour. You're gonna pay for a couple of hours in an internet cafe, you're gonna get a couple of hours in an internet cafe. They don't have a monthly sub in China. So, like, let's not specifically roll this whole fucking monthly sub specifically against the company. I understand the issue. We have nothing to fucking do and we're paying every month. But let's not specifically hold the monthly sub against the company. It's not always on the company how they're monetizing their game.
Content drought. And I kind of understand why, because if you're not doing any kind of instance-based rating, well, there's just not that much new to do, and the stuff that is there, if you've played for multiple expansions, you've done all this stuff before. People are chopping at the bit, especially with the launch of a new expansion and a whole new adventure and journey, for new. They're craving something new and exciting to draw them in, make them want to sink their teeth into this experience and dump hundreds of hours. And people were looking forward to content like cosmic exploration, which just sounds.
Chat, is yapping over like pre-recorded footage of cutscenes is like the meta? Because Cole does it for like the longest time, where he either filmed like the same footage of him doing island sanctuaries and he would loop it in the background. Same with like when he cleared TE, he would just loop that in the background for the longest time. Is that like the meta right now? Should I start like pre-recording a lot of like footage and just yapping about nothing? In my opinions, the Lala stool wasn't so bad. Haven't you seen all those videos? Those videos talking about COD gameplay? That shit works. Actually, good point. I'm not gonna make a video on chaotic. I kind of like chaotic. There's not much to say other than party finder is shit, but I kind of like the fucking fight. The fight is actually kind of fucking cool. I like it. Any of the casual or midcore players going into that fight, and they're actually gonna persevere, clear that fight, and farm it a few times, they're gonna come out better fucking raiders. They're gonna be much better fucking raiders in the long run. I like content like that. I like chaotic.
Really cool, and from the live letter for 7.2 also looked pretty dang cool. Again, we have to wait and see how it actually plays, but conceptually, I rather like it. Same thing with the new Bosja type content, with the Occult Crescent. Looks really cool. I like the idea of the Phantom Jobs. I am really interested to get my hands on all of those fights, and the zone itself looks rather pretty. I really enjoyed Bosja.
He says this, but he talks shit about Bosja. Like, okay, let's be real. Eureka and Bosja aren't that different, other than like the landscape and the progression is slightly different, right? In Eureka, you go through map to map across certain quest lines, etc. Understanding, right? Eureka's the worst Bosja, I guess, yeah. And Bosja is also similar. You kind of progress through area to area to area, but you also practically do the same shit. You grind whatever is like the assigned leveling systems assigned to this specific content. And you do fades. He talked mad shit on Bosja, but he's excited to do the new content? Of course he is, because he never done Bosja content. Oh god, I can't wait for the video where he bitches about this one too.
While I was playing it currently, so chances are I'm going to enjoy the Occult Crescent. But there's another elephant in the room. There's actually two, not just the fact that 7.2 isn't until the end of March, or late March. It's also that, like, let's be realistic here. I'm imagining most of this content is actually going to come in 7.25, which is about another 2 months after the release of 7.2. That is a tall
7.25. To be fair, that's not confirmed. Yoshi P did say it might come out on 7.2 or 7.5. He has not decided that yet. That is not confirmed. Let's not immediately start throwing rocks and stoning the witch just because we're unhappy about 7.2. He does have a point in terms of like 7.25 is gonna be at least a ways off after 7.2 or 7.21 to be fair. Because we're gonna get Savage like 2 weeks in. So it's a thing is with opinion YouTuber, it's not about actually giving your personal opinion. It's about talking what the majority seems to agree on. Everyone fucking agrees on anything. I can throw a rock at random fucking opinions. There will be someone that fucking agrees with that shit. That's how YouTube works. That's why some of my fucking viewers will disagree with fucking Coal or Despairs, and sometimes I will have people from Despairs or Coal content coming into my DMs, throwing slurs at me, and then blocking me. We've talked about the incident, but like that, we're gonna find people for every opinion. Yeah, I think his argument is for casual non-raider people. Yeah, I know that. I know he is a casual player, but he constantly talks about this like overall fucking content as if there's nothing else to do specifically. The writing content just doesn't exist.
I'll ask
Blood and Darkness. Oh fuck.
for people, especially in a modern scene with a modern audience, that is a tall ask to ask people to pay monthly for a game where you're telling them they have to wait months and months of time for the.
To be fair, nobody's like forcing you to do it. Like, let's be fucking clear. If there's content that you want to do, sub and do it. I'm subbed because I'm still leveling a bit in Eureka every day. I'm still doing the PvP Battle Pass. So sometimes I even pop by Baja. Like, if you don't have anything that you want to do, unsub. I understand it's like that you want stuff to do, but this is gotta be a never-ending vicious cycle that people go through. People keep talking about this shit like, I have nothing to do, but I keep paying the sub. The game is bad. This is an issue. It's like, you got nothing to do because you can't find what you like in a game that has so much shit that you could explore. You talk shit about Baja, but you're so excited for the new content. Make up your fucking mind. Get some practice in Baja. Go, skedaddle. Do the raids. But I know you don't raid, J-Mules. I know you don't do any content. We checked, like, the activity you do. It's like, you're too new. You're too inexperienced in the game. I'm pretty sure you still have a gaggle of fucking blue quests across multiple expanses. I'm pretty sure you haven't even... There's, like, content that you're not aware of in this game that every other player that played this game for longer than a few months is aware of. Hold on, how many people I got in my party? Yo, let's go. I got, like, 6 people. Let's go. Almost there.
The content they really want to sink their teeth into. It's not a unique phenomenon. Final Fantasy XIV has absolutely had periods of downtime in its past. And if you've been playing Final Fantasy XIV for a while like I have, this early drought of content for an expansion is the norm. And I'm not gonna...
Okay, no. I know I'm defending like sub and unsub and all that, but what we have right now in Dawn Trail, it's not the fucking norm. It's not the fucking norm. We had more content in 6.1. We had more content in 6.1 in the Endwalker. We had fuck ton of content in Shadowbringers. I wasn't there at the start of Stormblood, but so far we got fucking nothing in Dawn Trail. That's why a lot of people are upset. We got some extremes, a Savage Fight, an Ultimate, and a Chaotic Raid. What the fuck else is there? Cool, I'll do some custom deliveries. Like, 1 day per week. Fucking phenomenal. Oh, Beast Stripe quest. Ooh, I wonder what llama I'm gonna scratch today. Ooh. No. I understand that J-Mules is newer to the game. Like, at this point, I'm gonna be fucking honest and realistic. I know he's newer to the game. He started way too late in the game he has not experienced. This is not a normal thing. In Dawn Trail, we practically had nothing. Okay, cool. I can do Chaotic every fucking day. I'm down to be called Slurs and Party Finder for a while. But there's honestly just nothing to fucking do. Even Islands offered more content than this. So this is not a normal thing. Like, this is honestly very reminiscent to fucking content in World of Warcraft. As much as people like to fucking compare and show the same one picture of World of Warcraft has a roadmap. No, new story. The continuation of MSQ is not content. Let's be fucking real here, right? The content patches in World of Warcraft are like between 8 to 9 months. They get major content then, and then. They got 3 major patches through the expansion. Not comparable. So Dawn Trail right now is creating a very fucking cardinal sin where we have so little to fucking do. I don't know if they were banking on us like continuing to do older content from previous expansions, but fuck. Like, at least in this game, it's like one thing in defense of 14. Lots of stuff that people go back to. Lots of stuff. In World of Warcraft, fucking Warfronts are fucking dead. Island exploration, fucking dead. Torghast, I barely even fucking know her. In 14, people go back to Baja. There's whole communities, whole discords. Eureka as well. Fucking content from fucking Stormblood. That is still on free trial. People go back to Firmament. I still see some people just trying to get some score there. Maybe they're going for the mount, but I don't know. But it's like there's still minor activity there. People go back to deep dungeons. They get that. They do that for fun. Surprisingly, we still have like very doable content in 14, but unfortunately, people really want the new and the best thing, and we just haven't gotten it in a while now. Did I fail? No, not yet. I use Ferment to level DOH and DOL. Yeah, it's amazing for leveling, surprisingly, yeah.
Argue that that's a good thing. It's something that I do think requires systemic change and overhaul at Square Enix. But it is
Systemic change and overhaul? Are you out of your fucking mind to even throw suggestions like that? I don't think you understand how a business like that can work. Systemic fucking
also
overhaul.
nothing particularly new. But I think what we're seeing in terms of community reaction to Final Fantasy XIV and Dawnchill specifically right now is a confluence of numerous different factors with the state of the game right now. You don't really have the previous emotional investment from players during the middle of the Heidelin Zodiac arc. That arc...
You, sir, have not been on Twitter. There are some very dedicated fan accounts to the older arcs. I'm sure, I get it. Like, 7.1 did not have 6.1 level of MSQ tear jerking and clip farming for, you know, a lot of clip channels. But and I guess I cannot keep using the same fucking defense that this is a new story. But let it the fuck go. Why are we literally hung up on MSQ? MSQ can be done in 1 fucking day. Some people take their time and do it in 3. Except for Zepla. Zepla will take fucking 4 months to finish it. Right? But let's be fucking real. Do we really play MMO for the story? We do the story like the same as like some people who enjoy leveling. Okay, that's cool, but leveling is literally going to be like the 1% of the entire character's activity. You're going to be doing other things. If we're really going to be hung up specifically on the story, like, read a book. Read a book, get that dopamine there.
Is done and we're on a new adventure. Another element is that the beginning of that new adventure wasn't well received by many people. And then on top of that, the formula of Final Fantasy XIV is starting to be perceived as stale and stagnant. And when you throw in a...
There's no formula. I know a lot of things do repeat, and I have talked about this before, that I see a lot of like repeating beats. But let's be honest, there's not really any formula. Like, there's no specific school of writing that applies to Final Fantasy XIV, because the story constantly stems into so many branches. From the same story, they stem off to Savage, to Extreme, to like Alliance raids stem from MSQ as well. It's like, there's no formula right now. There is no formula, I'm sorry. They're not always gonna have one bad guy that died in MSQ but didn't actually and came back with an Alliance raid quest line. Let's go!
A giant weight for content. On top of all of that, it amplifies community reaction. I've been talking about it on this channel for a while.
It doesn't really amplify shit. People just hung up on buzzwords. Like, community has always been loud and always hung up to like a lot of majority opinions. But I don't think, like, the story's so bad, people are now even louder. It doesn't work like that.
Now, how the release cadence of a Final Fantasy XIV expansion and all of its pieces of content largely being relegated to the later patches is detrimental to the state of the game. Because there's no period of time in I was gonna say Final Fantasy XIV, but in an MMO expansion's life, than the beginning of that expansion, when everyone is chomping at the bit to sink their claws, to sink their teeth into the new content. They want to be immersed, they want to dump a whole lot of hours into the game. That is when the hype is at its ripest, when it's ready for plucking. Because it's an MMO, it's a multiplayer game. Hype builds on itself like a snowball going down a snowy mountain.
That's not how that works in MMOs. People don't get hyped up, and their hype fucking gets bigger and bigger with every patch. It's an MMO. There's gonna be different content released. Just this time, we got like very one-sided type of content that is going to keep the rest of the community, still playing with very small snowballs. Raiders they got some fucking content right now. They can do some stuff in Party Finder. They can hang out, do some static stuff. But the casual and mid-core people, oh golly. At least they got their mods and houses and role-playing clubs. I don't know.
But with the way that Final Fantasy XIV is constructed, a lot of that endgame content that feels unique to the expansion is relegated to, say, the 0.2 or beyond patches, let alone the new limited job, which is not until like the end of the entire cycle for an expansion. So that initial hype you could have had at the beginning of an expansion if you had launched with all of this content, or at least a good amount of it, if you have launched with that content and you're able to strike when the iron is hot, you can build on that hype and extend like the overall life window for that expansion and community hype.
And the life window. I know, I understand what he's talking about, but unfortunately in 14 case it's like it does not work like that. It generally does not. Like the biggest viewership spike that we had in 14. Oh, hey, when Asmongold fucking played it for a couple of days. He's not coming back. But then the second biggest spike was when Echo came to 14 to raid. They didn't come here for fucking story. They all skipped it. They bought boosts. They came to Proc Savage, blind, and then went into Ultimate. let's not pretend that people specifically will play like everyone is here for the story. Like I will try to get into the story, but if it's gonna be boring, I skip. Fuck this. Some people will literally come in for the crafting. I shit you not. I know a couple of people who literally came to this game because they wanted a fun crafting game, and this is like, to them, this is like Harvest Moon, just MMO. They get to socialize and be cute cat girls. It's like this game attracts all sorts of people.
Hype and sentiment towards it. But when you delay it down the road to try and bolster out that patch cadence and that cycle, you miss out on that initial window of hype, and you're no longer striking while the iron is hot.
The hype is always going to be there. Like right now, it's kind of dead. But let's be honest. Once there's gonna be like 4 months before 7.2, or not 4 months, 4 weeks. Once the Mug Tomes event is gonna start, all the people talking about the game bleeding are gonna be very surprised, because suddenly everyone's back. Everyone's here for the new content, the new story, the new Savage Raid. They're gonna be here to preparing their gear and other stuff for the exploration content, for cosmic exploration. The crafters are gonna start gathering materia, etc., preparing for that community project. The blue mages are come out every time there's a Muktom farm. They're gonna figure out a new fucking phenomenal and psychotic method of farming tombs. It's like 4 weeks before 7.2. It's like picking up a rock and you see all these bugs fucking scuttering out. That's what's gonna happen. Everyone's gonna appear. Everyone's gonna come back. Some people might come back later. That's fucking fine. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, but let's be fucking honest. People are gonna be back soon. And all this whole fucking conversation about game dead, oh, the hype, the momentum is lost. That's gonna be fucking nothing. It's just gonna be nothing burger in a few weeks. Well, not in a few weeks, but soon.
The iron is already cooling in the water. So while I can kind of understand the logic in let's delay a lot of these endgame systems and features for later in the patch cycle, that way it's a more even distribution of content and
he's a new player. He's a new player. We have a specific cycle when content gets sent out. That's why people's prediction when content's gonna be out is always very accurate. He's new. Let's not be mean to him. but everything has a specific cycle. They changed it a bit in midway through Shadowbringers because of fucking COVID, but they're usually a bit on point. Just this time, the patch aren't spread out, but patches just gave us less. The first patch just gave us a lot fucking less, unfortunately. Both like 7.1 and 7.5. Sorry, 7.15. Did not give us a lot, but hopefully, my hope is that there's still a lot of fucking content to come out. They did mention Deep Dungeon. They already mentioned the Ultimate. There's a Savage content coming out, exploration content, Cosmic Exploration if you're a crafter. Hell, I'll fucking do it. I'm a raider, but not big on crafting, but I'll fucking do it. I like hanging out with people. And later on, there's gonna be even more. There's still Criterion. I don't remember if they did mention Criterion, but there's probably gonna be Criterion as well.
And hype like that
And probably more Chaotic. Chaotic actually been received very well. They'll probably release actually more Chaotic raids. That's gonna be fucking sick.
can work, don't get me wrong, it's worked for Final Fantasy XIV up to this point, mostly speaking. I just don't think it particularly works anymore, if it ever really worked before, especially with the competition that is out there for Final Fantasy XIV. And many of you may be
It works. We just don't like how he does it.
thinking I'm talking about World of Warcraft here, and in some part I am, but I'm not just talking about Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft's recent rivalry. There's a bunch of other games, and also, not just in the MMO genre, but just other genres of game out there that people feel gravitated to. I know gacha games aren't for everyone, and I've largely kind of moved away from them myself, but look at the content value on offer there, and
Gotcha. Are you out of your fucking mind? Did you compare? Hold on, let me hear that again.
there that people feel gravitated to. I know gacha games aren't for everyone, and I've largely kind of
You out of your fucking mind bringing gotchas into this. Gotchas are not MMOs. Like, even Genshin Impact is like the one game I know where people can play together, kind of. It's not a fucking MMO. They make single player content and single income content.
moved away from them myself, but look at the content value on offer there. And compared to, say, Final Fantasy XIV, where you have 4 months in between each new update, alongside a monthly sub and having to buy and expand.
Just because there's a new... What the fuck is he talking about? So, a character that was released previously is now on the banner, and you have a higher chance to get him. Yo, content! Let's go! Oh... I know I'm making fun of him a lot, and we've been pausing like non-stop, but this is just silly now. This is so ridiculous.
On
It's literally just like feels like a new dev that has no fucking idea about 14, and they're responsible for writing some fucking weird essay to the investors for it. I don't know. It's like I now understand that Jay Muse is like still very, very fucking fresh to the game. Very fucking fresh to the game. He does not carry the experience just yet. Hopefully soon. But at this point, this is just funny.
top of it, in-game store and shop, we'll get to that. Sure, gacha as a monetization method is really crappy. Sorry, I just absolutely housed a bagel and some iced coffee like I'm in a Tomos. Now where was I? Oh yeah, there's a lot of competition in the MMO sphere. Not just by MMOs themselves, but by other games and other genres as live service games. There's a lot of great games out there, and it's not a matter...
Let's not go that far. The last few years have been kind of shit. Everyone is still praying for the fucking Riot MMO, but let's not go that far. There's not that much fucking competition. 14 is still in the top 10. Whatever fucking BuzzFeed article you read, 14 is still going to be in the 10. And there are hundreds and thousands of MMOs, and some MMOs that are so fucking ancient that they shouldn't be functioning anymore. Final Fantasy 11 still functions. People still play that. That game should have been buried long ago or turned mobile. But people still fucking play it.
of a death by 1,000 cuts, it's, oh, this person may have this other game that appeals to them more specifically, while this person has this other game, instead of it just being like when World of Warcraft was going through its massive decline back in the days of Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands. There was really just Final Fantasy XIV there, alongside some other offerings poking their heads out of the sand, but like there was an obvious funnel going from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy XIV. But like now, as a lot of these live service games that are out there, especially in the gacha scene, but in other scenes as well, it's not just gacha I'm talking about here, there's a lot of good bang for your dollar right now. Like Path of Exile 2 is only in early access and is already that incredible. And it's $30 now as early access. When the game actually properly launches, it'll be free to play. Games like Genshin, Honkai, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves.
I'm not only talking about gachas, I'm also talking about games like Path of Exile, but also Genshin, Zone Zero, Honky Star Rail. Motherfucker. Oh, chill, man. Either stick to gacha comparisons or just fucking stay in the road. I don't know.
Those gacha games, yeah, you can drop a lot of money if you whale, but if you just play free to play like I did for years, you get more frequent updates than an MMORPG, and sometimes it feels like more content in those updates as well. And if you vibe with the world and the characters and the actual gameplay there, well then you're good. What's the
In terms of value that you're getting, like, let's say, like, I've played Arknights for 6 years now, right? I fucking love the story in there. There's so much, I can say that there's so much content, events, etc. But let's be fucking honest. In terms of gameplay, you get like for a monthly fee, you get a lot more content out of fucking Final Fantasy 14. Like I don't know what, like I know Wuthering Waves is pretty cool, but it's like even gachas at the end, between events, all you do is grind more fucking currency so you can spend on banners. You do dailies, you're stuck there. Some gachas have stamina systems. Let's be honest. Those games are designed to keep you in. 14, on the other hand, literally has their director saying, no, if you don't have anything to do, go away, unsub, play something else. You know what? Elden Ring is coming out. Let's delay the fucking patch because of the DLC for Elden Ring. Not a very correct comparison, if I'm being honest.
incentive to drop money every month and then on an expansion and then possibly on an in-game shop? Like, what is there? No, don't get me wrong. MMORPGs is my favorite genre of game. Always has been and largely will probably always be. I grew up with old school RuneScape. I grew up with World of Warcraft. And I got into Final Fantasy XIV with Stormblood. I've been around the block here. But I've always been of the opinion that to be a true fan of something is not to swear blind allegiance to anything, or to just try and be endlessly optimistic and positive about that one thing. If you truly like something, you have to know when it's doing something wrong and be...
That is correct. He's not wrong on this. Like, we need to sometimes hold fucking developers and companies accountable so they don't start taking advantage of us. We need to sometimes step the fuck away, you know? Like, I thought, like, we have enough fucking complaints. But, like, every fucking video I watch from these people at this point is just, like, just doom talking. I don't know. If it's, like, if they watch that one Zeppelin video and think, like, oh, golly gee, this is probably the content right now. Meanwhile, Zeppelin is just playing fucking World of Warcraft.
be willing to call it out so that it can possibly, if they're willing, improve and become better over time. I'm not trying to say that Final Fantasy XIV has no content or is bad or you should feel bad for liking it. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is the game can be better, and we should always strive for our favorite things to be better.
Everything can be better. Like, let's be honest, everything can be fucking better. Hold on. Like, let's be honest, all games could be better. Like, the moment a game is an open market, any content is an open market, and there are thousands of people now playtesting it, per se, right? We will all find out how a game could be better, right? All games. Space Marine 2, Helldivers 2, Black Myth Wukong. As soon as people start playing, we will always find how the game could be better. But, like, if you are eternally hoping something gets better and better and better enough for you specifically. It's again, this is just at this point I'm just reacting to a fucking echo chamber. I get it. Duntrail doesn't have a lot of content. I've bitched about this. I don't fucking like this. I get it. You don't like the story. Fucking read a book. Watch a movie. I heard Zootopia 2's coming out soon. Fucking watch that instead. But holy shit, like, he's trying to hammer one fucking point into a 20-minute video. Like, I don't know. I'm just getting frustrated just listening to the same word padding I hear in every other video he makes. I don't know if ChatGPT fucking writes these videos now.
Because when they end up being better, we win in the long run. And I know it's kind of popular right now to be pessimistic and negative about Final Fantasy XIV. In my tenure with Final Fantasy XIV, I have never seen the community be this bitter about the state of the game.
Oh, you haven't been around long enough. Oh, people were very fucking bitter in Endwalker. They did not like the Four Fiends storyline. They did not. They like Zero. They like the hat. They did not fucking like the story there. Anything after 7.1, they fucking hated it. Hated it. When Abysses was unfucking balanced out the wazoo, the community was so fucking loud. Honestly, if anything, the community was a lot fucking louder than they are right now. Probably because more people played the game then. Possibly, honestly, if I'm being real. But, like, people are always going to be loud. We have something to bitch about every fucking patch. It's just this time, unfortunately, there's so many people are being heard for their bitching because there's nothing to do. There's nothing else to do.
Again, my tenure since I started with Stormblood. I can't speak to before that, but in my experience...
Excuse me? Hold on.
I have never seen the community be this bitter about the state of the game. Again, my tenure since I started with Stormblood.
You started Stormblood and you think this is when people were the most bitter? Sorry, fucking what now? Did not start in... Hold on. We checked his character. I don't believe he started in Stormblood. This is yes.
I can't speak to before that, but in my experience, I have never seen the community be this resentful and bitter and negative about the state of the game, and I can understand why. And
there's no state of the game. We just don't have enough in game to right now, and what we have is just a story that people don't like. This is not a state of the game. What the fuck are we talking about? Are you out of your fucking mind? The state of the game is fine. State of the game is fine. People are still actively playing it. It's just right now we just have like a couple of empty patches that I've been bitching about. Like let's not make a mistake. I am correcting him. I am I disagree fucking heavily with him right now. But like I'm still kind of in favor of the fact that it's not fucking right what we have right now. This is a bit kind of bullshit. I wish we had more fucking content, you know, this many months into the expansion. A new fucking expansion. But the fucking level of drama here is actually... I don't know. I don't, let's
and I don't think that negativity should just be written off as some hive mind on the internet or anything like that, because...
No, it should be. This is how we ended up with DI Slop and fucking Dustborn and Veilguard. No, the loudest people aren't always the correct one. We had a fucking healer, what the fuck was it? We had a healer strike. They were so fucking loud. They were all yelling. There was so many videos about it. What the fuck happened? Nothing. I saw all of these assholes complaining back in Party Finder. I saw all of these assholes back in Party Finder. I saw them release fucking videos of their clear. They talked nothing. Their talking meant nothing. All the bitching. I recognized names from the forum post, from my own comments, from everything. I fucking went thoroughly through that whole topic. And I recognized way too many fucking names. It is stupid. People are always going to be loud.
There are underlying factors at play that are bolstering that sentiment, because people still care. People may say they don't. People may say they're gone and that they're out. But so long as they're still angry, you still have a hook in them. They still care to some degree. The way you know you're cooked and when it's completely gone is when people stop talking altogether, when apathy sets in and people truly...
You're being very fucking dramatic. People are still playing the game. People are still playing the game. I still load in into limbs and I need to walk around to actually see everyone because the game limits me to how many people I can see on my screen. People are still playing the game. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Why is he literally talking like as if the game is gonna fucking die if they don't release any content in 7.2? People are still gonna be playing. They still got their funny clubhouses, their role playing, people who do older content for fun. People are gonna be still farming through in chaotic raids. What the fuck are you talking about?
stop even caring to comment, that is when you cross the Rubicon.
But have you also considered that people aren't fucking commenting because they're fine with the game? Just because there's a few people very loud with buzzwords does not dictate anything about the game. Again, we just don't have a lot of fucking content outside of raiding content, and people don't like the story. Other than those two things, I'm listening. Anyone in the comments, fucking drop me like some information. Maybe I'm just being a jaded old man or some shit. I don't fucking know. But at this point, just listening to this like yapping about the same things, just like word padding the same point across, saying like, "This is bad. This is practically killing the game. Everyone's so unhappy. Panic!" It's just fucking driving me up the wall.
I do not believe Final Fantasy XIV is there yet, but I think it's going in that direction. And you want to know the funny thing? I'm probably going to end up liking 7.2, but I'm trying to speak from the perspective of how do we bolster this community? How do we grow it? How do we make it even bigger and better than ever? Because
Why? If the devs started doing that, why the fuck should we? Like, don't give us the responsibility the fucking devs are supposed to be doing. What the I get it, you want your game to be cool and have shit for you to do, but don't put this fucking responsibility on us. I don't care if it grows, I have enough fucking people to play with. But I understand that I'm a very fucking small minority of writers. The majority are still mid-core players and casuals. Like, you can have a go at me if you feel like it, but like let's be honest. The reason people are bored and unhappy and unsubbing from the game, there's no fucking mid-core content to do. There's no casual content to do. There's no island. There's no criterion. There's nothing to do. You can log in, do your funny alliance raid, you know, hear the same voice line of "wait for it," as if it's fucking hinting at 7.2. It's not that deep.
chances are I'm going to like 7.2. I thought 7.1 main story had a lot of problems, do not get me wrong, but I liked it a hell of a lot more than 7.0, and I'm interested to see where this whole Sphene story goes. Cosmic Exploration looks pretty dang cool. Occult Crescent looks really good. I liked Bozja. I really liked Bozja.
I swear to God, if I'm not gonna see him in raids, if I'm not gonna see him do anything about the raids, and he's just gonna do some fates in the open world of the exploration content, I'm gonna call him lame.
If this is another iteration on that idea, sure, it may not be necessarily the most new thing ever, but if it worked before, okay, I like that. Iterate on it, make it better. I love the Hildebrand stuff, way too short with the prologue, but now we're probably going to be starting the storyline. Hopefully there's a lot more to sink my teeth into. The new trial looks interesting. Fight design is one of Dawntrail's strongest elements in my opinion. Chances are, I am going to thoroughly enjoy 7.2, but the question is how long am I going to? Because that is going to be the question on everybody's minds.
Are you out of your fucking mind? How long? Not long. Probably a few months. Possibly 3. Same with World of Warcraft. If we're comparing fucking content. That's how patches work. You go in, you're active for a few months. Same in World of Warcraft. You come in, you raid for like 3 months, and then you can fuck off. You've done everything. You can't do everything in just a couple of months. Depending on your speed, hell, you might be done in 1 month. Depending how fast you are inactive or unemployed. It's an MMO. What do you mean? How long do you want to be entertained? If they release content and it's not content that you do or like, you're not going to be entertained. You're not going to do it for long. I know you're not a raider. I know you're not a raider. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking so much wacky fucking nonsense. If you were a raider, you'd be a lot busier right now. Like, I don't know. Maybe I am just jaded. Maybe I am wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's like a singular fucking opinion of just me. But it's like, as far as I've played MMOs, as far as I've traded them, Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft, I've played and raided actively for fucking years. Same with 14. It's like I've been active for so long now. I've done teaching raids. I raided semi-hardcore, mid-core, casually. I've done all that. But like, how long do you plan to be entertained in the game from just one patch? If you are already this dreadful about the current state of, as you say, state of the game, and you cannot find what the fuck to do in the game, I'm not sure one patch is gonna save it. It'll keep you busy for a couple of months. Let's be honest. 2 months later, you're gonna be releasing another fucking video about the state of the game.
And you want to know the funny thing? There's a part of me that is relieved that the content I truly care about outside of the main story, with the Cold Crescent and things like...
What do you care about, actually? I'm not sure. I understand he likes the story. he talked so much shit about Bosnia before, but we know that it's the same thing as the Crescent is gonna be. You're gonna walk around and do some fades. Unless you're gonna start raiding. I'm not sure. I think my group filled. Oh, I don't know. God, am I bitching too much? Am I actually just overthinking what the fuck he's talking about? I don't know if I'm overthinking it. Maybe it's not that deep.
able to play that game and focus way more on that. And the stuff that comes out with 7.2, I can bang out in a couple of days. I can still talk about it and have fun with it, but I'll have plenty of time to juggle both experiences. Also, again, this is gonna be a bit of a kick in the balls. I love World of Warcraft again. You wanna know when the new patch is likely coming out for World of Warcraft? March. Like, in a weird way, this is lining up for me specifically, but if it doesn't for you, I can understand why you would be disappointed.
I'm not disappointed, but if you are, I understand.
I'm a nerd. I love gaming. I love a whole lot of games. I love playing a bunch of games. Not everyone likes to play games the same way that I do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I am also of the opinion that an MMORPG that asks for a monthly sub, and I'm not just talking about Final Fantasy XIV here, I made this same argument with World of Warcraft back in the day. If you pay a monthly sub, that monthly sub should be worth it. At least with...
No. You're being very fucking reasonable right now. It's like the fact that you're demanding shit is already making this like very fucking weird. That is like the fucking agreement you make. They offer the game with all the contents of it for a monthly fee because it's, you know, run on their servers and whatnot. It's a live service game, and you agree to that to that agreement. But if you're gonna just complain for the amount you're getting, and you want, like, I don't know, like, this is just, it's coming across very spoiled to me. Like, I understand, I want my favorite game to be good and give me plenty of content, and I want to be, you know, content every time I log in and do a lot of stuff and have, you know, fun times with all my wacky friends, right? But this is just fucking childish at this point, just making demands. It better be worth it.
With Final Fantasy XIV, the argument can always be made that you know what you're going to get. It's never that big of a question mark when you're going to get new content and what that new content's going to look like. It's never really that big of a question mark. The predictability and stability of Final Fantasy XIV's content release cycle is both a blessing and a curse in that regard. Because while you know what you're going to get, you also know what you're going to get. And if that appeals to you, then you're in the money. You're in the...
No, you don't. Like, people have had these complaints before. You're gonna get the alliance raid. You're gonna get, you know, 12 raid fights. You're gonna get an ultimate. We don't know what kind of fights. We don't know what kind of alliance raid. Yeah, we know we're gonna get a deep dungeon, exploration content, a criterion, 3 raiding tiers, a bunch of extreme fights, a relic quest line, a Hildebrand isn't exactly content, it's just story. What else? We're gonna get the PvP update. We're gonna get ultimates, exploration content, cosmic exploration. Wait, hold on. The more I fucking talk about it, it's I know what I'm gonna get, but I'm still fucking happy. The moment you start voicing out just a bit of reasoning out loud, it just sounds fucking stupid, doesn't it?
gravy train. Yeah, choo choo, full speed ahead, you're good. But if it's not, then we wind up here, where you have so many people bitter and upset and negative about
Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm happy and upset. I want more content, but I'm not that fucking daft that I'm just gonna, like, you know, I stay sub because I like hanging out with my friends. I like raiding. I'm gonna be in Party Finder. I'm gonna be raiding. I'm gonna be farming. I'm gonna be grinding. I'm farming Eureka. I'm doing Baja. I'm not that daft that I'm just gonna be like, the last patch gave me nothing, therefore game dead. Boring.
the state of the game and losing optimism.
Like, honestly, if you're that fucking chronically unhappy, regardless of what the game is gonna give you, and you're hoping for that one fucking incremental patch to change your whole overview of the game, fuck off. Fuck off, really. You're gonna be unhappy nonetheless. There's not gonna be one piece of content that's gonna keep you entertained forever. Maybe if you're really, really into Ultimates. But we know that, like, as much as people like to bring up the whole thing that, oh, the game is catered for, you know, raiders and, you know, majority of the community are raiders. Oh, we are such a small fucking percentage of the community. You have no idea. Like, if people even say, like, oh, you know, 174 fucking, like, let's say, like, I'm gonna add a couple of numbers. 200, or, like, let's even say 300 Party Finder groups. I am fucking doubling numbers here, by the way, from average. I'm doubling them. 300 active Party Finder groups. Like, let's say, like 20 of them are the role-playing club advertisements, right? Right, let's say 20 of them are advertising for clubs, RP, whatever, and they're not exactly active Party Finder groups. They're actually for rating. Sorry. Let's actually no. I'm gonna keep those included because that's still content. People still make Party Finder specifically for role playing and clubs, right? So 300, and I doubled the number of like an average, even more than that, right? On average, content requires 8 people. I'm gonna take out the fucking calculator just to make sure my fucking art degree pays off by me being shit at math. 8. Let's say 300 Party Finder groups. On average, we're gonna multiply it by 8 because you need 8 people. Okay, that's 2,400 people in Party Finder currently doing content. We have hundreds of thousands, and like there's like a whole million, like there's millions of people playing this game. Like we literally just a couple of years ago we celebrated like the high point of like 12 million players registered to the game. Are we really fucking gonna talk about that the average of 2,400 fucking raiders is gonna be what the game is catered to? Are you out of your like? And I'm making like, and I'm expanding these numbers. I'm blowing these numbers up. I'm like making these numbers bigger than they actually are. Like, let's not be stupid. 2,400 average fucking raiders. And that's including the role players. I'm including the role players because sometimes role playing is hard. Okay?
Optimism and losing hope, which used to be hallmarks and staples of.
Also, if I'm... Just to clarify, I'm on like 4 cups of coffee today. It's a long day. That's why I'm so fucking loud and animated today.
The Final Fantasy XIV community. And I'm not of the opinion that it's only because of the story, or because of Wuklamant, or whatever, right? To me, those are easy scapegoat arguments to make.
Then you don't have any fucking arguments. You had nothing otherwise. You're literally talking about nothing then. Even if we're like, don't include the fucking story, you got nothing. I get it, there's not enough content, but you're being fucking dramatic for no reason then. Your point is just being blown out of proportion for no fucking reason.
The true
This video should not be 20 fucking minutes.
issue is the content. At the end of the day, no matter how much, and I've been talking about this for a while, no matter how much people want to talk about how important the story of Final Fantasy XIV is to the overall experience, I agree, it is important. It is not the only slice of the pie. At the end of the day, it is a video game. The game itself matters, and it matters a
No, like, I'm gonna be real. This just sounds like a Chat GPT script. It legitimately just sounds like a Chat GPT script. I've seen some of these scripts, and it just sounds like that, honestly.
lot more than a lot of people think, and I think it's that element that is maybe people don't know how to word it or they can't put their finger on it. I am of the opinion that a lot of this resentment comes from that element instead of just the story, and the story being lackluster and disappointing for a lot of people revealed the faults and the issues people had in the back of their minds for the longest time.
So is it, or is it not about the story?
They never really cared about because they had something else to grasp onto. But without that thing to hold on to, they're just falling. Let's go back to that monthly sub argument. Let's go back to competition, and let's talk about World of Warcraft.
This is just gonna be a never-ending cycle of just like word padding for 10 minutes and then going back to World of Warcraft. Every video I fucking watch, it's always a comparison to World of Warcraft.
Final Fantasy XIV sub gets you the Final Fantasy XIV experience, right? Makes sense. Compared to World of Warcraft, you get a monthly sub in that game. What do you get? You get retail World of Warcraft. Duh. But you also get multiple versions of Classic. Yeah? You get multiple versions of World of Warcraft.
Gives a shit. They ask for it. Their game is a lot older than ours. Their game precedes ours by a good 6 years. Hold on, no. World of Warcraft came out in 2006. Then Realm Final Fantasy 14 was 2011, so 5 years. But like, is this actually the fucking argument? Do you like? We got New Game Plus. You don't need a different version. We got New Game Plus, man. Just go play that if you want the older expansions. I don't know.
That is a
Plus, it's not a different version of World of Warcraft. It's just an older version. Like, sure, they tweaked it to actually work in modern frameworks, but it's still just older content. Graphics are shit. Obviously, it has its charm and people love that shit. But it's like who are we fucking kidding? Do you want people to release Realm Reborn or 1.0 so people could play that instead of current content? What? Are you out of your fucking mind? What do you want? What is like? There's just so much word padding about fucking nothing, and I'm not like, okay, but let me clarify. Okay, I consider these problems fucking nothing. This is kindergarten drama, but I'm not hearing solutions either. I hear a lot of bitching, I hear complaining, I hear a lot of these fucking big words being thrown about, but I don't hear a single fucking solution, do I? What do you want? What do you want?
powerful thing, because that is value, that is content. If the retail version of the game has a content drought, which it kind of has right now, funnily enough, as a lot of people are pretty much like checked out of retail WoW right now. Oh, look at that. Classic. Oh,
Well, still play fucking retail, man. There's World of Warcraft is still very lively, even in retail. I understand that people are currently want to play classic because OnlyFans fucking hyped it the fuck up. Everyone appear on Tyler One's fucking screen for a second. Everyone wants to call Soda Pop and a bozo in private chat on World of Warcraft. I don't know, but it's like let's not pretend that people watch that or play that actively. People still will prefer retail unless they played the fucking game so long ago. People literally fucking give up on retail on classic. Sorry, people try it. People like from modern era of gaming, of modern era of World of Warcraft, have tried classic half and half. Some of them are enjoying the difficulty, the challenge of hardcore, whatever charm classic had. They liked it, but half of them are just dipping immediately, either going back to retail or just not playing World of Warcraft anymore. Like, it's like people liked it then. People who, but like, let's not pretend that that is somehow can be applied to 14 just because they have it and we don't.
Oh, look at that. Season of Discovery Classic, which is like Classic Plus. Oh, look at that.
It's not Classic Plus. They just, okay, whatever.
World of Warcraft.
Do you even play those? I'm not like, okay, hold on. Like, you talk a lot about World of Warcraft. Okay, that seems to be retail. Future direction is social. What the fuck? World of Warcraft. Okay, you make 1, 2, 3, 4. You make 4 videos on 14 before you talk about World of Warcraft, and both of these seem to be about retail and modern versions of them. Judging by these screenshots, unless these are somehow connected to Classic. I am... you talk about... Okay, 3 weeks ago. So I started Classic WoW in 2025. Neato. Cool, you got a video of it. Can we have some more then? Otherwise, your argument doesn't fucking work. Sure, you get more. Doesn't mean it's fucking good or people like it. Like, World of Warcraft has released content that people fucking hated. Doesn't mean they fucking got more.
Cataclysm Classic. Okay, maybe 5 people play that, but still, you know what? It is bolstering the content offering of the World of Warcraft sub. Final Fantasy.
Unpopular opinion. I like Cataclysm. I know it's unpopular, but I just wanted to add it there.
14 does not have a parallel there. When the game...
Okay, let's clarify a couple of things. The reason they have that is because Blizzard makes their own little wacky shit, and they release it on their own wacky little launcher. 14 it has a bit of a different deal. A good comparison could be the Xbox Live, whatever it was, Xbox Plus or Xbox Live. You pay a monthly sub, you have access to a lot of games. Does that mean Xbox games are is that better than World of Warcraft and 14 combined? No, different type of fucking content, is it? Ubisoft has Ubisoft the slop launcher, and it has Ubisoft Plus. You pay a month and you can play all the Assassin's Creed, even the newest one that's gonna come out. You can literally pay like $15 a month, and you will have access to Assassin's Creed Shadows when it comes out. I don't know why you would want it, but you will have access to even the newest games, deluxe versions of them even. But does that make their game somehow in comparison similar to 14? Like, we got our own fucking deals and additions. But it's like... The comparison is really fucking unfair just because they're in the same genre. Just because they're in the same genre doesn't fucking mean anything, honestly.
Game has a content drought, waiting for new content like it does right now. There's nothing to really fall back.
Like, this century-old comparison between 14 and World of Warcraft, I don't believe it's fucking fair constantly. He keeps bringing up that you have more fucking content to play for one price of sub, but like, who gives a fuck? You're not gonna play all of it. Sure, I'll play fucking Plunderstorm when it comes back, but I'll probably still be a retail Andy because I like that shit. I tried Classic, I tried Kata, not my cup of tea, so I'm just not gonna play it. Doesn't mean that for World of Warcraft is better because I have access to that value. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that, does it? I don't know. It's a very fucking weird argument just to compare. Just because they add extra slop to your sub, it doesn't make it better. Maybe to some they like it. Maybe some people are chronically online and they absolutely fucking love Heroes of the Storm and all the World of Warcraft references and books and all that, and they play all versions of World of Warcraft, retail, Plunderstorm, anniversary servers, you know, hardcore, Kata, Season of Discovery. Like, maybe they play all of that for one price of sub. Cool. For some people, that is the best fucking thing. But in my eyes, it's a weird fucking comparison. It genuinely is. It's such a weird fucking comparison.
Back on in
World of Warcraft also sells so much fucking slop on their shop. We get that slop a year early for free. Before not all of it, obviously, some of it still goes on the Mog store, but majority of that store at some point in time, because of the events in the game, we get them for free. So we can compare these games in so many fucking ways, but it's like it's never going to be a fair comparison. Like you either compare story and just the PvP and PvE content, or just don't fucking compare them. If we're gonna be so nitpicky about the smallest fucking details, like what's included in my sub, it's I don't fucking know. I don't care. Like, for example, cars these days, they have so many fucking functions, monitors, they have a, Wi-Fi, they got a GPS, they got a fucking can opener, they got so many fucking functions. 3 out of 10 functions are being used to drive, maybe music, maybe GPS, some other, like, I don't know, seating, any extra fucking functions, a massage table, or I don't know, anything else, is normally not used. Same with like PCs. It's like we have so many fucking functions on our PCs. People don't fucking know about them or care about them. It doesn't make it better just because it comes with the PC. You can compare Windows and PCs to Mac. We've been comparing them for fucking centuries, but it's like it doesn't fucking matter just because like I have night mode on PC and Macs. I don't know if they do, but it's like even if I have access to all these functions, it doesn't make Windows better. It's all got to be a matter of fucking perspective. My perspective, again, this is just kindergarten comparison and drama.
World of Warcraft, it's by design. You can either
I think the coffee is starting to wear off. I might need a 5th cup.
take a break if you want to, which was the benefit of the Final Fantasy XIV methodology of doing things for the longest time, which World of Warcraft has recently adopted. But if you want to still play WoW, you have other versions you can try out and play, and they kind of time the release schedule.
It's whatever.
Bearing that in mind, like there was just a new version of Season of Discovery that just came out. This Blood in the Water we talked about on this channel when World of Warcraft announced its new housing. They took direct shots at Final Fantasy XIV. They didn't.
I heard about that. Is that actually a thing? How do they take direct shots? What is the blood in the water? This just sounds very dramatic for no fucking reason. I'm gonna need to check that fucking update. If it's gonna be fucking minuscule and they're simply adding housing that we've been asking since fucking Kata and Pandaria, it's gonna prove fucking nothing. Plus, we know it's World of Warcraft. It's not gonna be that fucking complicated. Their engine is older than 14's. They are not gonna give you anything super fucking complicated. We've had garrisons. It did not fucking work. Housing is not gonna be that fucking amazing in World of Warcraft. It might be. I might be wrong. But let's be honest, World of Warcraft players don't exactly play it for the housing, do they?
Say Final Fantasy XIV, but anyone that's played the game knew exactly who they were referring to when they talked about how housing in World of Warcraft won't be given by a lottery, and if you want a house, you can get a house, and if you unsubscribe and you...
Really? Is that the shot they took? That we get ours on a lottery? Okay, fucking, I don't care. Like, you can get a fucking apartment. I guess I know everyone wants the fucking house. But at the end of the day, you have a house inside a fucking game. Your house is officially part of the game because you won the lottery. Again, we can compare this all you want. For all I fucking care, I don't care about the housing. As far as I care, I don't care about the housing. Housing is not fucking used for anything other than submarines for me. If I had like, my FC is kind of dead. I've not managed my FC in fucking months. Like, if I had an active FC, I would probably organize into something nice, specifically nice for my FC. Maybe a role-playing fight club, or I don't know, whatever the fuck they want, right? But like, in general, what do you need a house for? But on the other kind of situation, if everyone's just gonna get a house, it's gonna be same shit as garrisons. I promise, it's just gotta be the same thing as garrisons, because you cannot give everyone the same fucking thing, and it's somehow supposed to feel unique to each player. We kind of have that, because we have thousands of fucking items for decorations. People have made amazing fucking things out of housing. We've had years of fucking perfecting this. And our houses are solidified in the game. Sure, we need to log in for it once a month, but like our houses are officially part of the game. Yoshi P on stream can go in, visit some fucking houses. Chances are they'll visit your house. Nobody fucking visits garrisons in World of Warcraft. But like, if you want your own space, that's always there. You have islands. You can get an apartment. You can get a room in an FC house. You have all these fucking options, and we're still fucking complaining about the lottery. Get the fuck out.
You leave the game for a bit, there'll be no repossession.
The lottery is still fucking better by miles than that random fucking timer they had. I stayed awake for 48 fucking no, longer than that. I remember that I definitely passed the 48-hour mark. I stayed awake for over 48 fucking hours to get a small house in Goblet for my FC. I was fucking dedicated, man. I got it.
Possession of your house. We know exactly what game they were referring to with all of that. It's not some grand cosmic mystery. There's blood in the water.
Who gives a fuck? You were so fucking dramatic. Holy shit.
And I think Square Enix can either patch the wounds until they get to a safe place.
Hold on. Like, he's very off topic right now. He started all this fucking conversation, but now he's comparing it to World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft is now copying 14, but trying to take jabs? Who gives a fuck? I get it, a lot of people aren't happy about the lottery, but people who have houses, what the fuck are you doing with them? I walk around wards. I've seen some of these houses. Some of them got photo studios, some of them got clubs. Some of them have 4 carbuncle slippers in the middle of the room, and that's it. Let's not pretend like the houses are actually anything.
An island which they can truly mend the issues that lie just beneath the skin, or we can continue to flail in the water until the sharks come and rip us apart. I am also of the opinion that
Yeah, ChatGPT fucking wrote this shit.
these issues with Final Fantasy XIV, and I used that previous metaphor deliberately, because I do not believe these issues with Final Fantasy XIV can be solved overnight. It's a long-term thing, and you want to know when
Yeah, like at this point, I don't hear any issues. He keeps like talking about issues. But let's say this is not an issue. I'm not gonna include this. I'm not gonna include this. I don't include rating. I don't. Let's say I'm not even gonna include the story. Yada yada yada. What are the fucking issues anymore? He's so off-road at this point. It's actually infuriating to keep listening to this. Maybe I should start making the slop. I'm just gonna like record my fucking Lalafell, do wacky shit. And then I'm just gonna, I don't know, walk about. just a bunch of cutscenes of my Lalafell, and I'm just gonna yap. I don't know. Anyone in the comments, anything you want a high-end raider to talk about, or anything you help with? I'll talk about it. At least I'll try. I'm kind of better at just sharing my experience by just correcting people who are just talking about out of their asses. I don't believe this J Mule's fucking played since Stormblood. It doesn't feel like it. He just, I don't know, he doesn't do anything.
the real test for this will be 8.0. It's not going to be in the
Everyone's fucking talking about 8.0. It's actually so exhausting.
remainder of Dawntrail. We can determine how much better the storytelling gets as Dawntrail goes on, and we can see how the content provided with the remainder of Dawntrail holds up. Sure, the real test, though, will be 8.0, because with 8.0 to 8.2, do we end up with the same Judd again, or did they learn their lesson? Or are we just in this weird vocal minority on the internet, segmented off into our own bubble, and I just don't think that's the case.
They definitely listen to us. If anything's big enough, they do listen to us. They talk about it, they address it. In the live letter or any of the other streams, they kind of try to address it if they can. Even the whole Stalker plugin thing, they addressed it in a forum post, and they even addressed it live and explained a lot of fucking things. The Black Mage changes. People were very unhappy. They listened, and they reacted to it, they adjusted it, and they fixed it. People are fucking happy to play Black Mage now again. But, like, this is just nothing. This is just nothing burger. Hell, I'm not even sure what the fuck Jamie was fucking talking about anymore.
I just don't. When there's smoke, there tends to be fire. And I'm not trying to say Final Fantasy XIV is gonna die or anything.
Or smoke to be, or fire. There needs to be something to exist for it to even burn. There's nothing to burn right now.
No, but I think the real danger for Final Fantasy XIV is not living up to the potential that it truly has. And I'm not using past tense there. It still has this potential, because I still think the game itself is really good. This is why I never agreed with people when they said end the game and work on another game, because that wouldn't fix anything. That wouldn't address anything, because the issue
Fuck says that? I know people have talked about just like shut down the game for a couple of years and fix the code, but I've never fucking heard anyone say that shit. Why would you end the game? That's kind of fucking weird.
right now is philosophy. It is not
Oh, fuck off with your philosophy. I am just so fucking tired of him. His word padding at this point. I am so fucking tired of this video. Might as well finish. We're like 5 minutes away.
the system. It is not how it's implemented into the game, or whether or not it could be. This game has had good job design in the past. This game has had good content in the past. It's had varied content in the past. It's what Yoshi P talked about before Dawntrail came out, when it came to fight design specifically. The fear of disappointing people, the fear of letting people down, and not wanting to have that happen. So you do things and you engage your development cycle in such a way so as not to upset as many people as you possibly can, or anyone. But the problem with that idea, the problem with that development strategy, is that it leads to what we have right now.
What?
Stagnancy. Iterate people as you
Well done.
possibly can, or anyone. But the problem with that idea, the problem with that development strategy, is that it leads to what we have right now. Stagnancy. Iteration instead of innovation. And iteration is good,
Nah,
but
he's
in
just warp padding at this point. This is just fucking waste of time at this point. Holy shit, I'm exhausted. I wanted to give James another fucking chance after the last video, but I'm just actually just realizing he just warp path for nothing. He just talks about nothing. Just drama out of nothing. Like what the what the fuck are you talking about anymore? Like I'm like at this point I'm just failing to fucking see the issue. He's steered off of the main topic about what's included into your sub price so fucking far. And he's just repeating the same fucking buzzwords he repeated in the previous videos. And it's just like, it's just so fucking no, I'm done. I'm not reacting. Stupid at this point. It is actually legitimately infuriating and stupid.